Anyway, welcome back to The Invasion, session 39, part 2, I guess now. An actual part 2. The good old days when I had to record them in two halves. It's the 17th of February, 2021. I'm Ryan, the GM, fading away day by day. Here are the players.
Hi, my name's Gregor, and that sounded really dark, Ryan.
I'll turn my light up. There we go.
I said sounded.
Yeah, you know what? Some people hear colour. Okay, so
Fair enough. So yeah, hi, I'm Gregor. I play Adair, an Air Genasi who is proving to be quite a bit of a rogue. Actually doing it quite well. It only took 38 sessions, but
Yeah.
whew, we're getting there now.
My name's Dylan, and I'm playing Xarxus the Father, who is coincidentally a changeling bard.
Good evening, my name is Alexander, and I'm playing the vodka uncle, whiskey uncle, I think.
Sugar daddy. I think it's more sugar daddy. What with the
No, I'm vetoing that. Whiskey uncle.
Twitch is doing that.
And I'm also Fleabite the Skaven.
Hello, I have a mechanical keyboard. If you can hear that, I am Colin, and I will be playing Vanger, who is a dwarven Uncle Vito. Isn't that it's a dead weird uncle? Speaking of Bam Margera, let me just sidetrack already. God, what a mess that guy is. Poor Bam Margera. He is turned into an alcoholic version of his dad, and everyone from the early 2000s should weep. Anyway, I play Vanger. He is a dwarven cleric-y, druid guy, priest, person, dude, chap, fellow man. Lad.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Glad we're back. Technical issues for everybody. There you go. There's my gift to you all. Besides that though, I think we're back in the library. So, you discovered the thing.
That. So look, they only have the one child. So who the hell is the glint?
Wait. Does that not say Charles?
Ah, you're right. I read the wrong note. Oh my god, can you believe this? They have a child called Charleston. That's the butler's name.
Unless he's not. Is he putting on a clever ruse to try and hide his position of power? Is he trying to? Is he convinced the entire town that he's the butler so that he can?
What, be servant all time? I mean,
Well,
he's
we only know
strange.
he's a servant when we see him out in public with them, right? Or in the house. But
It's true, but
behind the scenes, he might be. Alternatively, I think there's the other way of seeing it, which is, yeah, maybe he's been sort of forced into a position of giving up his position and pretending his masters the real
maybe
Tanan heirs.
maybe he is not knowing. Maybe he's got some kind of head magic going on.
Or he was just tricked from an early age.
Da.
Well,
this is
hold on.
what?
Two false Tanan. Two
Who
noble
are one-
families cast out by the Tanans.
you're thinking that they might in fact be the families of the wolves and the bates.
The Terra and the
Calastris?
you. Calastris.
That's why I said the bats and the wolves.
They are. We've some reason to believe that they may indeed actually have survived into exile, right? Despite everything, documentation, and everyone that we have said otherwise, we've
But
met.
we did suspect there was curse.
Well, yeah, exactly. The curse and all that. It seems to me like there really is a continuation of at least the Terra line. So why does everyone believe they're gone?
Hmm.
Could it be that
This
Optera
is
and
what-
Calastus have convinced everybody as some sort of ruse that they've been cast out, whereas actually they've infiltrated and overthrown
The Tonans.
the Tanan family. I mean, could we be seeing one representative of each family pretending to be the heirs?
Possibly, but then you have the Charleston, who is what? He is the heir, but he just goes along because he does not want to be.
He might have no choice. They might have some power over him. Or he might not even know. This might be all be an elaborate joke to them, keeping him as the heir.
Hmm.
What?
We should be taking this as evidence of what we are finding.
Too risky to take.
You think?
I think if this comes up missing, that tips potentially people.
But
They
that
don't
would.
expect this to be easily found. They might not
But-
even know it exists, but
But
someone does. And I look at him sort of archly, you know, like this was pointed out to me by Von Rune, so clearly we are not the only people who are aware of it.
Are you actually saying that though? To Adair? That Von Rune showed you
well,
these things?
I think you already did say that, right?
Yeah, I indicated that it was that was Von Rune that left the stuff out. Yeah, well, if I didn't, I'll clarify now a bit. As I say, Von Rune indicated that I would find something interesting here. So
Then I am
guessing he's found
thinking
the same
Von
thing.
Rune needs us to show the people of Eversheid. For some reason he cannot, but he knows the truth.
Or he's not willing to get his hand dirty.
It's possible, but also it is meaning if we are getting in trouble, we can rely on him.
Maybe he's helped us out before, but
And he has airship to get us out of here quick.
the man has been nothing but helpful. But I can't help but find him strange.
Hey, come on, look at everybody in this place. Everyone's a bit strange.
Just looks at you.
Yeah.
Aye. um, whatever the case, I would leave this here because I'm betting that other people know. Not just one. I think he's probably the only person could risk coming out publicly to acknowledge it, but he probably has reasons so not to. But I would bet that someone else has worked this out. This information is available. All you need to do is have the right books, the right scrolls, the right language. And anyone could work it out. It's all here. So someone else must have in 2 generations, do you know?
See this parchment that we're reading from, the one in Primordial. Is there anything on it that looks like an official record, like a seal or anything?
If there was, how would you recognise it?
That's what I'm not sure. Like, is there even just a wax stamp kind of thing to be like, this is...
Sure, let's say this is the super official wax stamp of how you know it's not bullshit. Right? It's but in Primordial that's really elegant. It's a direct translation. Sounds exactly like what I said. I think the other thing to look at as well is on the family tree, like Noah and Glint's parents are obviously on the family tree.
Yeah.
And it's Lord Glyn, Glin, and Lady Noana. So they've obviously done a Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, Willow and Jaden.
Or their parents are on it, but are they their parents?
And are they all vampires?
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
So you've been thinking since the start.
Listen, one of these days it is going to be vampires, and you know, it will rue the day you mocked me.
But like like what you're realizing is obviously their family line goes to there, and then it seems to be from there it gets like odd.
It jumps over.
And it's like this primordial thing seems to be like, well, Lord Glyn and Lady Noana had one kid. It was Charleston Tonan. yet. It seems like a lot of,
We need to
Tipex
figure
and
out-
Magic Markeriness has worked its way onto the official library documents.
Work out who the original.
Out of all the names, is there a surname Stobart anywhere?
Nope.
No.
Is Stobart like just a sort of relatively normal name? Maybe it was chosen to be innocuous.
I don't know how you would know that, but the answer is yeah. Right? I just don't know how
Well, maybe
people
it's,
that
it's
aren't.
one that I've bumped into a few humans over the years in various different contexts that were called
Mhm.
Stobards. It's just like, oh, that's just a human name, just one of those.
Yeah,
human
it's
names
not
you see
particularly
around.
like there's no Ryan trickery to me having picked Stobart either. Like
Mhm.
there is just it was a name because I thought it sounded good with Charleston.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, it's just
yeah.
in case.
It's just that I'm
okay.
quite fond of making names quite clever in their own way.
Mhm.
Even if it's just to amuse myself while hearing them. But this isn't. It's just Charleston Stobart.
There's got to be more. Like, let's look at this. What the Noana and Glint. Glint.
Glyn, like Glenn, but with an I.
We need to look at these names in the other noble.
So what is it you're looking for then? You want to look up Glyn and Noana?
Yeah, see if there are any similar names.
Yeah,
no-
like because you
no
mentioned about
dimensional
obviously
variation.
the Optera and the Calastris house. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, see, are these names that maybe are a hint to the past lineage, the actual lineage of these?
Okay. So
Assuming that they're not really Tenans who just get forgotten about in the original draft of the document. you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Oh no, we have a lift off with the cousins. Hey.
no, this is slightly left field of what the original kind of pile of books was on. So this would be
Yeah.
best if it was Adair doing it on his own. Let me just put it that way.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think what I'll do is say, here, I'll keep looking through these to see if I can dig out any more. Do you want to hit the shelves and he just sort of gestures over his shoulder and see what you can find in the others?
Nah, see out of everything that's on the table, is this the only thing that is in Primordial?
Yes.
I am thinking that no one knew what this is saying, and this is why it's still here. I am thinking we should take with us to keep safe.
Well, think about it. I
But-
can get out of character. I can see your reasoning, but
Mhm.
Vanguard is definitely suspects that we can't be the only people that found it, especially when someone right just immediately before us found it. So
But he has his reasons for not doing it himself.
To be fair though, he didn't pick like that kind of like hidden piece of data, if you will, the primordial, wasn't specifically something set out. Here's the pile of books, here's this specific primordial piece
Yeah.
of like parchment, and then here's the pile of scrolls. It was like you could almost say it was like a leaf pressed between pages type idea. It definitely seems to have been something used as a pseudo bookmark or just kept with the records because they knew, based on that exact sigil that was on it, that it was clearly meant to be part of the official records. Just that, yeah, it's obviously just piling, but it definitely isn't of the same parchment as the book is, right? You can clearly tell it's a separate document entirely.
Someone used it as a bookmark and then never checked it, and
Yeah.
it turns out it's the most important thing ever.
You find out it's on that agricultural book that guy checked out or some shit like that. Yeah. But yeah, so it's definitely not just. It hasn't just been like another book that was on the shelf. Yeah. But yeah, that's
It's
up to you
something
to kind of like
covered.
investigate as you wish. So
But yes, I shall go over to the bookshelves I mean, I'm not going to lie, I am going to look for an artist book to see if I could find anything about Richard's mum.
yeah.
Just because there happens to be a painting in the house. Actually, you know what? I will mention that to Wagner. On way through this incredible library, I am seeing a painting of Eversheid, but the artist, the signature was Richter's mum, the lady whose name I forget.
Cynthia.
Thank you. God, I'm so bad with names. The Cynthia von Roon was the one who is signing this painting.
Well,
It's strange. The reason I bring up is in von Roon's castle, his home, all paintings were just of boring landscapes, no buildings, but no artist names on anything. And I do believe it was the Richter who did the work himself. Or am I making that up, Brian?
No, like that was definitely the impression you got, yeah.
Cool.
runs in the family, maybe. Look,
Da.
I wouldn't think too much of it because, after all, didn't they trace their heritage back here?
Da, but it's very strange that of all places to suddenly come across a painting is here by her.
It is a little odd, isn't it?
I'm thinking I'm needing to find maybe a book on artists and have good look through this.
Ah, yes. Well, you're at the wrong end of the library. This, for some reason, they've got the non-fiction alphabetical. These humans, you really need to invent a better system.
They do not spell words properly, it's clear. But I will have a look through
We
the show.
use Lord Heimgrand's system of decimation.
Yes.
This sounds legit.
I was gonna make a Lord Dewey Decimal myself joke there, but it's fine. Oh dear. Ridiculous. So, you want to go looking for a book on artists and then chase up the Optera and Calastris
Yes.
trees and anger. What would you like to do at the table?
God. You know what? I'm going to continue, and I'm assuming I will be at disadvantage with this because I'll just be looking for further stuff and not necessarily focused on the one specific thing now, or...
I suddenly realised.
Yeah.
You could always go look at that painting I just mentioned and then discover the secret door behind it that I totally didn't check for. Or, you know, on the other side is a map to Barris, you know.
Did you see the painting was nearby? Yeah.
I mean, I could describe which room it was in, yeah.
It was about, you know, for as big as this place is, it's probably 5 minutes that way, you know, for all that matters.
He isn't going to do that. I'm going to have another look at the books and continue to look for hints as to, now that I know what the mystery is, as to how it came about, like, you know, look at older documentation before these people start to be mentioned and see, like, if the timelines add up. And see if I can sort of dig in any further. So, was that normal or disadvantage?
No, it's normal because you're still on topic, right? Like, you're still using the stuff Von Roon set up.
I roll. Oh, I have finally discovered the power of rolling 19 also.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Yeah, so as you're pouring through the documents, you're mostly clarifying what this primordial, like, parchment says. When you're starting to, like, you know, like when somebody points out the punchline, everything kind of clicks into place really obviously. You're starting to see where a lot of the, almost even like the handwriting of like the whoever's been filling in the family tree and stuff seems to have like changed subtly, as if, that doesn't flick the way all the other, you know, F's flick or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're noticing lots of differences that could just be the fact that they changed whoever ascribes it because, you know, time moves on, or there's just slight inconsistencies in places. And all of it points to the fact that the document you're looking at, the official one, I use air quotes, official document, has obviously the children of Lord Glyn and Lady Noana being Lord Noah and Lady Glint, which seem to exist in the official document, but not in this primordial document that seems to predate the official documentation. There is no mention of a Charleston anywhere in the family tree, which is interesting, and nor in the primordial line up beyond it being the only child of Glyn and Noana. So there's no like Uncle Charleston like 7 generations up the way. It's not like a recurring name. I'm not going to name their entire family tree, but that doesn't show up. But yeah, you've also got a role from wonderful Adair, as he does a wee investigate for me as well.
Investigation.
Yeah.
More.
Okay, so your hunt for a book on artists goes well. You find a book on art, and that's
How
it.
to draw a cat.
And it's no, it's just like it's probably called Art in the Evershades, right? It's probably as poncy as that. And then as you flick through it, it is about someone's musings about what art is as a lifestyle.
Oh yeah, I put that book down. Straight
Yeah.
What is art is a really interesting question, and the
Uh-huh.
answer is it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And yeah, do you want to roll to see how well you do in the hunting for the names through the Optera and
Oh no!
yeah, maybe as you whoa. Right, that horse ain't going anywhere.
It was racist to really let him open.
And its ghosts escape some of the books apparently.
These books have not been opened in a long time.
Oh dear, fucking dumb. And then as you're looking through like all the ancestry section, you're still going, what is art? What does art mean to me? You're clearly
Baby, don't hurt me.
yeah.
Don't hurt me no more.
It's clearly eating away at you, that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you come across the Optera tree, and you come across the Colossus tree, and they essentially just match, right? They just match the official document. Like
we've already thought, yeah.
Yeah, like there's nothing. There's no mention of Noah, Noana, Glint, or Glyn, or Charleston.
Can I make a quick investigation to see if there's any other books just written in Primordial? Like, is there any?
It's definitely not a quick investigate, but it's
Yeah, there are a lot of books.
Yeah, but like
in this area to just because I find it very interesting that
you can do that, yeah.
Only you could ask the librarian.
If only. That's 7-11-11-7.
Yes. No, like you have a good scout around. Like you just maybe like scan all the spines, and no, like
it was just a sudden moment I would check for.
Yeah, there's very little of them are in any other language other than like whatever the
common.
Yeah, like whatever the better word for common is in this setting.
What?
Human. Evershadian.
Evershadian.
Shade.
Basic.
Basic, yeah. Orabesh. So yeah, it's I just think common's such just a non-word for like a language, but yeah, sure.
Basic shade.
Yeah, basic shade. We're buying a blush. What are we doing now? But yeah, everything's in common. Like there might be some things that are written in Elven, that clearly weren't written by elves. It's people trying their hand at Elven, and it probably looks disastrous. But yeah, because obviously the elves are pretty well known. But yeah, beyond that, nah, there's nothing beyond the document, which is weird in itself, right? Like, why would there be a family tree in Primordial?
Yeah.
That is odd.
Specifically to hide it in plain sight, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not a commonly spoken language.
It really isn't. The fact that you two know it and it happened to be there is just kind of really weird coincidence. So yeah. But yeah, so that's what you discover. Colin, you can ask me a question if you want with your 19. If you want to get more specific than what I
can and will then.
Sure. Just because I always feel like if you do well enough in a role, you just get to ask questions. Maybe just info dumping because it's easier to answer.
So I'm trying to think like what my priority to find out other than these things are, and I guess I kind of want to know about the rest of the Tanan family, right? Aside from the sort of current heirs of the house, like what else is there to the family have they historically been a large family with multiple sort of vying heirs, and is this like domination of one brother, or one heir, a new thing, or is it just sort of like are they actually, despite their power, relatively small? It's basically like anything that would indicate whether or not this current sort of arrangement was typical, or whether, like, 100 years ago there were half a dozen of them all saying, well, if you look at my claim, no, 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 cousin, I was born 14 seconds before you. What exactly this situation, how exactly this situation differs, right? Is the Noana, the Noah and Glinda, not Glinda,
Glint.
Glint situation typical? Is there anything else that's weird about it other than obviously their primordial tree?
As Callum
Oh,
says,
hello.
clearly demons. Clearly demons. You're right. But yes, so okay, let me try and work my way through that question.
Yeah, it wasn't my best worded thing, but I was kind of thinking it through as I asked.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Yeah, like I was on the journey. So you want to know if having 2 kids or 1 kid is common?
No, I kind of want to know, like, the current situation. Like, there is a clear, unambiguous head of the family who is clearly the leader of that family, and therefore basically in charge of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to know is, like, is that typical, or is that maybe something that feels like maybe they engineered that, right? Maybe the two who are currently presenting as the faces of the Tanan dynasty say they aren't actually Tanans by blood, and they've just sort of retrofitted history. Like, did they, did they specifically do it to the Tanans because they realized, oh look, there's only one heir left, we can easily supplant them?
Mm.
Or is there anything weird in terms of that? Like, does it feel like they may have specifically saw an opening because, like, they've got a one single heir who is an infant, and we can easily supplant him, or was it more like, yeah, typically the family has one unambiguous head?
Okay, so for the question I tried my best never to answer, which was how people get power in Evershade when you're not the king. As I remember saying to Dylan when he was joining the game, being like, I hope nobody ever actually asks how that works, because just like the fact that it works in the abstract and nobody ever questioned it. Now we're at that point. So, as I've mentioned before, whoever ends up taking like charge or stewardship of the city is essentially just its keeper, right? So you get the rewards for being its keeper, but also the responsibility of, well, yeah, you might get the rent money, but you also you need to fix the boiler when it breaks, like that vibe of a job, if you will, responsibilities and benefits. The who's been in charge since the king left has been, like, there was nobody for a long time, right? Nobody was in charge for a long time after the king left, because the king's in charge. You don't need somebody in charge of Evershade. Everybody just bends the knee to the king of Torque. And alas, that then wasn't the case. The noble house has decided they're not really here anymore. We'll take control, right? We'll govern ourselves. We don't need a king that's, miles and miles away. And if we got into trouble, right? Like, yeah, like, we'll benefit from the fact that the kingdom will look after us as far as they can. They're not going to send soldiers up here to, like, protect us if we're in trouble, because by the time they get here, we'll be dead. So we're kind of on our own in the spooky forest in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
So the nobles decided, maybe more of our, like, tax carriages will get lost in the woods and attacked, and we'll maybe just request more and more support. But we understand and will be very gracious when the king can't send any. We'll just accept it. Yes, that's unfortunate, but we understand the trying times of, the distance and blah blah blah. because they don't actually expect the king to send any support, and the king in return has accepted they're not going to send taxes, right? Because the tax carriage never got lost, they just didn't send it. So yeah, like pretty, on the nose stuff, but they always have to look on paper like, yes, everything's still, human owned and ran, and it's part of the monarchy. But the houses started then deciding, well, who's in charge? And it goes, well, whoever's in charge fits the bill, but everybody else chips in, blah blah blah. And then like it became almost like a put your best foot forward and see whose support you can, garner. So all the major houses, because there weren't always, like, not every house is major, like there was major and minor houses. Tonans way back when, minor house, right? But then so was things like Optera and Calastris, right? These are clearly houses that have grown over time. But houses that were rivalry, for example, as I mentioned before, the Optera and Calastris house did their little let's not let the Tonans get into power move. And it didn't work, obviously, because, well, Calastris, Thaki took out Optera, right? From what you know about the duel. Because Optera seemed to insult Thaki. So that didn't go so well. Thaki seems to have been a major house the whole time as well. That's something you can trace. They don't seem to have diminished in their stature, but they never overreached, ever. They were happy to be like, we don't mind being second or third forever. Because that's still second and third, right? Like, they don't mind being in that kind of bracket. They've never needed to be on top, because on top you can be pushed off. Whereas if you're second or and if you're second or third, you're always asked how to get on top, right? People always come to you for help. So that could have done well throughout the years. But as for the Tonans, they just slowly grew and grew and grew in terms of influence. They got very ambitious. They have snubbed a lot of minor houses as well. But beyond that, there's obviously very little these records will teach you. But yeah, like in terms of there is always one house that takes charge. Like it always ends with one person.
I sort of mean within the house though, so the current situation, there's a very sort of clear, unambiguous head of the Tanan family.
Yeah, like Noah.
Yeah, and typically, would that have always been the case? Is that sort of just always how the family's operated?
So it's whoever had the influence. So for example, if it was Lady Noana had influence, it would be everybody she knew that was on her side. So for example, if we talk about Glyn and Noana, right? The Noah and Glyn's parents. Talk about them. Like if Glyn didn't have the favour of the right houses that were making the right moves, and Noana did, she'd be the head of the house, right? Because she's the one with the power. It's not necessarily a male or female thing, or like a.
Oh no, I don't mean that. I just mean in terms of is this sort of obviously historically a lot of dynasties have been sort of riven with infighting and rival layers and such and such going off and changing their allegiances to line up with so and so from their mother's side. Is that something that sort of goes on with the Tonans or the Tonans?
In general, noble houses don't have a lot of infighting in Evershades. That's not a thing. If it is, it's never been documented. Put it that way. Okay. Houses are fairly loyal to themselves because regardless, the house will prosper.
Because I guess what Vanger's thinking is sort of is there something that made the Tonans uniquely vulnerable at this time? 50 years ago or whatever, or whether it be around the time of birth, Charleston's birth. Is there something that has?
I mean, if you asked Utior, right, he'd just probably say the curse, and then mutter about needing a drink.
Okay.
But that lines up. But that's the only thing really besides the Optera and Thaki issues, right?
Okay.
But that's obviously where the Tonans come into it, the Noah and Glint. That is where all the fuckery around the family tree is as well. Sadly, your other investigator comes back with his information. He has found.
I found some books.
Sadly, indeed. Okay. Right. So, yes. Did you find anything interesting there?
Yet there was only nothing of special. Everything that I'm thinking of importance is here on desk.
Well, I'm
You know,
trying to.
I think I'm going to go look at that painting again. The one that the Richter's mom did. There's something in my head is annoying me.
Let me stick these away, and I'll come join you. Where are you? Where is it?
It's just around here. But look, I think we need to take this document. And Adair picks up the one in Primordial.
Mhm.
Is it a scroll or a book?
It's neither. It's like as if it's just like pieces of it's one like big piece of parchment.
Is it safe to fold?
I mean, you'll find out.
Okay, I'm going to take this parchment and I'm going to delicately roll it
Mhm.
so that it, doesn't get creases, doesn't snap, and I'm going to be cautious of the seal on it, the official one.
Mhm.
Is there any those architect tubes that you get for taking care of?
There's probably loads because that's where probably half the scrolls on the desk came from. So you could just take one of those if you wanted.
Cool. If I can take one of them and shove it in there just to keep it safe.
Sure. So as you're putting stuff back, Vanger, you're missing one tube for one scroll of something, but that's it. Mhm. I'm sure doubling up one tube with two scrolls isn't the worst.
I mean, yeah. I don't like this disrespect to scrolls, but
Don't disrespect the scrolls.
And yeah, I will follow him quickly after.
Yeah, so you put everything back as best you can. I assume you're going to put it back in like as exactly as where you think it should be, and then I follow on to find this painting at the other side of the library. Yeah. So yeah, after some time.
Well, I remember exactly where it is.
Yeah, but it's still the other side of the library. You head over to the big painting.
It was of Evershade, yeah?
Yeah, so it's like a kind of almost like imagine somebody on a hill from far away looking at Evershade with like the mountain behind it. And obviously the mountain goes all the way up until it hits cloud level, where that's at the top of the painting. So it's almost like rays of sun hitting like the edges of it. And then it's the overcast part of Evershade. Yeah, because it's obviously somebody's went far away to get a nice wide angle shot of the thing.
You see, Evershade is not small; it's just far away.
And this piece of art's big, right? We're talking what's a good? It's a large size that I can work off. So probably about 4 meters tall by about 6 wide. Yeah. Meters, yes.
That's insane.
Yes, it's huge.
You see, I'm telling you, there's something about this humongai painting.
Hold on. He walks back for 30 seconds.
The good thing is you've got good vision, so you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What on earth do I think of that? I wonder. Actually, can I roll something to see if I can make anything of it? That because he certainly seems to think there's something.
Why don't you just ask
odd or
me a
suspect.
question that you'd like an answer to, and I'll see if I can work out what the hell that would be. You doing.
Oh fuck knows.
Adair would like to investigate the painting to see if there's anything about the mountain. To maybe see if there seems to be a path from Evershade leading to the mountain, kind of thing.
Okay.
And if not, he's totally going to try his best to look behind the painting.
He's just hiding the path in a gigantic, easily seen painting.
Well, everybody walks past it and it's darkly lit. Nobody ever pays attention.
She
Huh?
didn't. She probably didn't know that.
Yeah, but she painted it a long time ago.
Like, arguably hang in the Optera house, right?
Yeah.
Where it is. Oh,
I
dear.
wonder then if there's anything about the composition of the actual city itself that maybe doesn't seem quite accurate. Like, maybe she's done something with one of the stately homes of one of the noble houses. Like, for instance, portrayed it as being in a state of sort of
Like a house
the
on
word I'm looking
fire, you could say.
not
whereas
quite on
the other ones,
fire, but like
if you look close, there's people like trying to like pile out of the window. Like, yeah.
That when you look closely, the people are standing like letters of the alphabet.
no, but I
Actually,
mean,
a message in it.
is there anything like if there were any sort of details in the site itself that might sort of hint towards something?
Yeah,
about
basically,
the
is there a
houses?
secret message in the painting? Really is the
Yeah.
summary of this.
Yeah,
Okay,
essentially.
that's a that's an investigate check.
With disadvantage,
For you, yeah.
you know what I'm gonna do, right?
As a redeem some triumph.
I am.
Nice.
I too am going to do that actually.
Okay.
Just because my recent investigations have been quite bad.
Okay.
And I roll investigation. It's not good, Ryan. It's not.
It's the same as the first time you did that. Remember how to do this?
Maybe
So
no.
You guys
Give inspiration there. I've got it.
There we go.
And then I put my name.
Yep.
And then I.
There we go.
That one. It worked.
Sorted. Right.
Cool.
You can roll.
I couldn't find a GIF, but basically this.
Yeah.
Yes. That's so on point, actually.
Oh,
I
dear.
don't understand that reference. Wait, what is that?
It's from Iron Man when
Iron
Tony.
Man?
Oh,
looks-
right, it's Howard.
Yeah, and he looks at the city, like the little like city of the future that he leaves him. His Expo map.
Yeah, the World's Fair Expo.
Look at that.
I haven't watched that film in a long fucking.
Yeah, it's a nice toy commercial Disney ruined. Iron Man 2. Yep. The real movie's on the cutting room floor somewhere, sadly. The one where it's about alcoholism, but never mind. We'll maybe get a director's cut one day. But anyway,
6 hours of new footage featuring Jared Leto for some reason.
it's just him, but like really badly drawn over with MS Paint, with an arc reactor. Nothing else, just that as the Joker. So anyway, in this game that we totally don't cut away from ever, yeah, I think he's just both of you just start poring over the painting like mad appraisers,
Fanboy.
in the dark with a candle maybe too close for comfort in some places.
With a box of scraps, yeah.
Yeah. You fashion the frame and the artwork into a suit of armor.
Walk out casual as fuck.
Yep. It's okay, I'm a mountain.
I believe that's a Biffy song. No.
Yeah. And yeah, I think as you are pouring over that, I think there you can like stand back a bit, pull Vanger back a little bit so you've got a good view of it again. You've set up the candle so that it's a certain distance away so you can stand away and look at the picture from further back, and you can safely say that there's nothing obviously hidden in this painting. You hear a voice just from in between both of you that just says, "What do you think?"
Do I recognize the voice?
Yeah, you do. It's got a weird Valerian accent to it. And we cut over to Xarxus and Fleabag. So,
That's fair.
so Fleabag, you went where after you left?
Mine and Adair's room.
Okay, cool. So Xarxus, you return, and after not seeing Fleabag downstairs, I assume you go back upstairs to find Fleabag, unless you're going somewhere else first. Like, do you go tell Falcon of her impending gift, or just leave that be?
I'll leave it be.
Okay, yeah. So you had to go looking for Fleabite then in the room.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep. I guess there's a knock at the door, Fleabite.
I mean,
In this time, Fleabite will have been trying to make some potions, so there's probably a mild miasma.
I think you can tell which room's Fleabite's a mile away, given that you've been in it before, and now there's like smoke coming from underneath the door. Yes.
I feel like the banging probably Fleabite assumes that it's just exploded or something.
So
First instance.
the DC on this to make, right? Have you solved that yet? That dilemma you were having, remember?
Well, it depends.
Does it though?
Um,
Because remember I was saying how when you asked me that question you were getting confused between the DC they have to suffer it versus the DC it is to make it. And they seem
Yes.
very clear cut.
yeah, so in this case, I would add proficiency.
Well, your
But
kit's
that
going to add that anyway. Right? Your proficiency is going to be included because you're proficient with the kit. So that's an auto-include. You don't need to worry about that. That's a thing that exists, right? Because it's going to be you using the kit with proficiency.
Sure.
Mhm.
That wasn't really what I was thinking of. That was the depends.
Right, I know. Right, I'm also trying to just go through all the Star Wars Legion stuff that we've sent since, and all the various stuff about that random Doctor Doom's clone trooper. I'm scrolling back through to get to the part where you sent me this question. It's way further up than I thought it was going to be.
Basically, it was mainly because I wanted to ask about making poison that isn't the poison that I make from having the feet poisoner.
Okay. Sigh. Okay.
Basically, in order to try and fulfill the goal, because I feel like, and if this is not how it works, and I don't want to shoot myself in the foot there, but just making poison that I get to make from my feet doesn't count as making something.
No,
for the
it doesn't. Like,
heist.
it definitely doesn't. Like, you asked to make something very specific for the heist, right?
Yeah.
But you need to tell me what the thing does that it's then going to be helpful for the heist, right? That you've yet to do.
So I wanted to make something similar to, or something that has the same effects, or just make essence of ether.
Okay, so you want essentially some kind of sleep
Indeed.
effect. Okay. And
Sleep affecting it.
yeah, a sleep affecting effect, or a sleep inducing effect, I guess. And I guess the best way I can translate this would be, if it was a spell, what level would you want it to be? Yeah.
Yes, I'm so familiar with the spell levels as a warlock.
Well, you've been a caster for 39 sessions, so this is on you.
Not one that cares about spell levels.
I'm afraid you have been a caster for 39 sessions. This is on you, buddy. So,
I'm going to say second.
right. Okay. Cool. So, would you like to roll nature? I guess it's going to be, but whatever. What's the governing skill for nature? What's the governing stat for that? Is it intelligence or wisdom?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, it's intelligence.
Okay, cool. Because I just said or wisdom, and you were like, yes.
Okay.
Yes, to both.
I would be happy for it to be wisdom.
Okay, so it's going to be intelligence when it asks you on your poisoner's kit, or whatever the hell it's called now. Your alchemy kit. Whatever that is, when you're clicking on that
Yeah.
proficiency, it's going to be intelligence, and obviously you are proficient in it. And you're going to roll that, and that's going to dictate how well this potion is. And it's obviously suffering the joys of your exhaustion still.
Is there a way to use my inspiration on that? Just
course
do it
there's-
twice, or will it?
If you've toggled inspiration, it should do it. Sorry, advantage even.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I meant.
just it'll bring it up to normal.
Yeah. I suppose then you're just doing it normally.
Although, is this? Yeah, no, it's an ability check. I'm sure. Okay, so intelligence.
So you can put your potion of ether, I guess, if you want to call it that, or essence of sleep, level 2.
Cool.
What I would like you to do though is write like potion of sleep, or whatever you're wanting to call it, essence of sleep, and just write that you rolled a 16 next to it for me. There you go. But I mean, you're probably fairly pleased with your efforts, right? Given that you probably woke up 5 minutes ago to finish it. As you passed out from the initial fumes. Which can only be a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy with that result,
Mhm.
and I don't want to jeopardize it.
Mhm.
But the wording for the poisoner is that you can make the number of your proficiency.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's with your poisoners. Well,
Yes.
yes. Which is not what
Which
you've
is
done.
not. Okay, that's
Correct.
fair.
So if you wanted to-
ask,
I was
never
gonna say-
get.
No, yeah, true. But like, if you have materials to then do your poisoner's feat one, that has all the built-in rules for it already. It's just the spending the money that really matters for that one,
Okay.
right? So it's basically spend 50, receive poison that has a DC 14 check.
Yeah.
Which is nice and simple, by the way.
Well, I would like to do that if.
Did you spend the 50?
Yes, last time.
Then you can just have the profits of that feat,
Woohoo.
which is very nice. You can paste it in if other people are wanting to see it. If you feel the need to share. This is what a wonderful Fleabite has.
I know it. I'll
Mmm.
run
Mhm.
over it thinking about character
Mhm.
ideas.
I think this scene is definitely Xerxes probably just walks in to like the smoke machine levels of flooring, and Fleabite's probably lying unconscious, having made a successful sleep draft, right?
You know, maybe I did make 3, but only one of them was actually able to be collected. And
Uh-huh.
the other 2 are just fumes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just kind of like look around, like, huh. Alright. I'll walk over towards Fleabite and kind of like, I was gonna say check his pulse, but like, he's a giant rat.
Just give him a kick. It's the same thing.
Just kind of like slap him a bit, like,
Yeah.
Mhm. Rouse him. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Consider yourself roused.
For to like jump out, like. Yes. Who attack? Where? What is? What's that smell?
I'm glad you're all right, Fleabite. What
Just, like,
what's
looking at
going
you.
on?
Trying to remember who you are. Red thing.
Narrows eyes.
Yes. You make success when forget reach thing.
What?
Great question.
You just kicked a rat away. You expect it to be able to make sense.
translate in case you didn't understand. He's asking if
I
you got
didn't-
the climbing kit, which you've already told him you
I
got.
wasn't even.
I thought you said reach
Was it the
thing.
cape?
Yeah, but that it doesn't need to make sense.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So did I say, what?
You go back out into Nest City, Warren. You find what look for, yes?
Oh, cape. Yes. Yes.
And Freeberg
Okay,
just sort
yeah.
of looks at you and around.
Did you succeed? I kind of
Yes.
gesture towards the poison kit, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably
Your chemical lab, your meth lab that you've got going on.
But for legal
Yes,
reasons, not a meth
Right,
lab.
room.
Wink.
Yes. Much great success. Will come in useful handy, probably, in following ventures.
Do you have a target in mind for this?
The target that it needs.
You said the target it needs.
Indeed.
Okay.
The wedding
And,
party.
Who's that?
Whoever must be removed from the way.
Is this poison going to kill someone or?
Most likely, yes, but hopefully not.
All right. Well, as long as it's not me, I suppose.
As long as
Moral
you are not
compass.
in Way.
I will do my best not to be.
I feel like that's the moment you pass him copper to be like, please make sure I'm not in your way.
There's more of this if I don't ever get
Remember
it.
that bell?
Some copper and some bells.
All right. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you. Let me know if you need a hand. I'll be downstairs. Or, in the lobby.
Yes. And you tell me if need anything of the bad taste, long breath.
Sits there for a second trying to figure this out. Poisoned? Is that what you're saying?
Just like head tilt at you.
I'll be sure to. You'll be the first one to know. Just turn around and just shake my head and walk back.
Mhm. A small cloud of various gas follows you into the hallway as it just dissipates. Mm-hmm.
Make sure Lady Emerald's not looking. Quickly close it.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, you're upstairs anyway, it's fine.
Very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, where do you go then?
I just go back downstairs.
Okay. Anything planned?
Nah, I'm waiting for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Our plan isn't until tonight, right?
I mean, so the last time we did a time check-in, you said 7 hours to go. I think
Night
you-
is fast creeping up on us.
I think you have 3 hours left. Put it that way.
For preparation, or
Yeah, like until it's go time. So 3 hours left. Because there was a lot of wandering around the city, like Crime Alley,
having fun.
and shopping and potion
Crime
mixing
Alley.
and reordering capes and
I
giving
need to.
children dresses and daggers.
Appreciating art.
Yeah, right. Lots of.
Need to pour one out for my boy Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, you could grab your drink and
We're run out
Yeah.
for the mouse.
Mickey the fence.
Nickname among the other fencers, yeah.
Mhm.
Fences, not fencers. The fencers and the fences do interact a lot because people get confused.
Mhm. I
Um,
was gonna say he met the short end of a fencer, I guess, but anyway, here we are.
well, the fencers
The
are
business end.
Yeah,
they
As a
typically
former
have.
fencer, I feel
you could say he was foiled by
Oh
the fencer.
See, it's, like,
Yeah,
it's harder to gauge with a knife than it is with a rapier. With a rapier, you've got a lot of range, right?
Yeah.
With a knife, there's not as much area for like,
Depends how
pulling
good your
your
throwing
strap.
arm is.
Might have been a flesh wound.
Hmm. Hmm.
Only real fencers get that one.
Yep. And that's what's annoying. I miss fencing.
Same.
Me too, actually. So, post-lockdown, everybody? Yeah, well, I'll just go fencing. Sure.
No, I don't even think I could fit into my fencing gear anymore.
I don't think I would ever let someone weave a sword at me, even if it did have a knob in its end.
Okay, new plan. We all dress as Jedi. The robes are very flattering.
I'm okay with that, actually.
And
yeah.
we just buy ourselves dueling lightsabers, and then we'll just go into the woods at night and hit each other with expensive glow sticks. That sounds great.
That's not fun.
Camping with booze and expensive glow sticks. There we go. Anyway, so
It's a 90s rave.
yeah, I'll play Thomas the Tank Engine and everything.
Well, I
So,
like 50% of that.
okay,
phrase.
was it the drinking part you enjoyed?
Oh no, it was 90s.
Okay.
Rave, not so
To
much.
be honest, I thought he was talking about the Thomas the Tank Engine part.
Fair.
Oh yeah, love
Uh,
love Tam the Tank.
Anyway, though, moving swiftly on from acquaintances of Colin, the
Hey,
hey,
Right.
and indeed, you're in a library, I think, staring at a painting, having just
it's artist behind us.
yeah.
Probably.
I mean, how many soft-spoken Valerians do you know?
Quite a few. I'm well
Not
traveled.
personally, many. Vanger doesn't even know this one, so
No.
he's completely in the dark as to who she is.
You're literally in the dark.
Actually-
Yeah.
Can I roll to see if I know the accent?
Sure.
Would
Culture?
that be like culture? Yeah.
History. Yeah.
History.
Yeah. No, I think that's easily placed. Yeah.
I believe Adair would turn around and see. I always forget her name.
Cynthia.
Thank you. I see Cynthia, and Adair would just be like, "Well, hello once again, my lady."
She just
Oh,
she smiles. Obviously, her jeweled teeth on display.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just says, "Ever the silver tongue." And just smiles at you.
I was not expecting to be seeing you again, especially while I'm apparently admiring something you have created.
would you kindly introduce me to your
No, shush. No, I'd get
She like tilts her head and kind of like smiles, and then she says, "Allow me." And then she turns to you and she puts like her hand out for yours. But she puts her hand out like cupping, if you will, to like take your hand, and then she like pats the top of your hand, if you give her.
Oh
hand
yeah.
does.
Okay.
And then she says, "Cynthia Von Rune." She just smiles.
I see. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Vanger.
How lovely.
I've heard some chatter about you about town.
She like
yeah.
she like fixes her hair, like just like almost that kind of bunching it up over her shoulders, as if, "Oh, you've heard about me," and then
I hear your continued existence is the subject of some controversy.
yes, isn't that quite odd? She just smiles as if incredulous, and then she turns to Adair and then looks back at Vanger and says, "Admiring my brushwork, are we?"
I did not realize you were also one of the arts. I guess it runs in family. As I believe you're a boy, he was one doing art back at the Rundstedt.
She laughs and she goes, "No soul in his work, unfortunately."
Is this why he is not of the signing of it?
And she just looks at you. She doesn't know how to take that. And she says, "Surely this isn't why you found yourself staring at my work?"
Oh, Ned, of course. You knew we were looking at your work?
I happened to be in this aisle and I thought I recognized you.
You meet a lot of blue people, da. I'm kidding. Da,
Everybody should knows is dead.
that there was something about this particular piece that I could not get out of head and had to relocate. And then suddenly you are here. Surprise.
She doesn't really seem to though. She's almost like staring past you towards the painting. And she just says, I was about 15, 16 when I painted this, I think.
So not too long ago.
She laughs, but she doesn't look at you when she does, she just kind of laughs to the side. But she's almost like transfixed by the painting. And then she kind of turns her head slightly, still kind of staring at the painting, to address anger. Says, and your thoughts on it?
That's interesting because I'm not actually sure what Fanger would make of it. He's probably not the biggest enthusiast of the visual arts.
Dwarves don't do a
came
lot of
about
paintings
you-
of mountains, they do them from within mountains. So, yeah.
Just out of the corner of Wagner's eye, Adair just standing there doing thumbs ups like, it's good, it's good. For the love of God, say it's good.
He's going to turn around and look at
You just need telepathy as a spell. It just tells
Well-
you that.
I admire the talent, but did you have to make it so large?
Oh, it was requested.
Oh, a commission
Indeed. She just kind
by
of
the
stares at it.
Opteras.
Yes, this used to be their home, you see.
Did you know them well?
About as well as the others. She just says that kind of casually.
Of course, of course. Shit, I'm learning nothing. Inner monologue, of course. Maybe.
Soliloquy to the side, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very impressive piece. I'm not a great lover of the arts, I admit, but I can certainly see the talent that goes into it.
How kind.
That the Evershides, I'm assuming, is changed since this painting.
You think so?
Unfortunately, I am not too familiar with current Evershides from this particular angle. Do you think it has changed a lot?
Says I'd have to go back and have a look from where I did the painting. She's kind of she just kind of turns and just smiles at you blankly.
Where did you paint it from?
He's looking like angle. I'm confused.
And then she walks up to the kind of painting and where the bottom part of the frame is. It's obviously quite a chunky frame. She kind of points and goes, about 5 feet back from about here. And she just laughs. And she says, it was a good vantage point, some way away from town. I decided that I would go travelling that day. And I found myself painting. And then here we are. She waves vaguely at it. This was not the first attempt, you see, but it was asked for in a larger size.
I was going to say, it'd be quite a thing to haul about with you.
Does it differ from original in any ways?
How so? She looks at you curiously when you say that.
You're absolutely convinced there's some secret meaning.
I know that some people in paste get rid of things they do not wish in pictures, or they add things to make picture more.
She looks at you like she doesn't really know what you mean. And then she says, I merely painted what I seen that day. She kind of just blinks in the candlelight.
It
then-
is most impressive.
She says, it was taxing, to say the least.
Well, look at the size of canvas. Must have taken a long time.
And then she from the floor, just like picks up the kind of brass disc that the candle's sitting on. Just magically, it just floats up, and she just puts her hand under it and holds it, and she goes, "Yes, luckily I have some skill with a brush."
Ah,
And walks over and hands Adair the candle holder.
Thank you.
I, I suppose your talents might have made it a little bit easier than it might otherwise have been. Nonetheless, an impressive work.
She laughs and she says, "And I'm sure your talents aid you in many ways too, Master Dwarf."
Indeed.
Adair, for some reason, decides to say,
Oh my god. That's not a good start.
no, I'm very impressed with the brushwork, but I say it in primordial
Okay, yeah.
to see if she understands, notices, anything
Or
like
like mutter it to yourself, just almost like a you're not meant to
that.
overhear this, but let's see if you okay, I get what you're going for.
Yeah.
Mhm. Is it loud enough that Vangar would hear it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because Adair is not tactful in any way. So
And then I think she'll just be staring at the painting. So the three of you are in a line, one at each side of her, and then staring at the painting, and she'll just go, with her hands on her hips, as if agreeing with herself to that statement. So you could read into it that she's
understood me.
if you wanted. You could roll insight if you want.
Sure, why not?
You could too if you wanted, Vangar.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. 13. Yeah, like I'd say,
Sad.
it's reasonable to say that. Yeah, she seemed to respond at the right time, right? So she obviously understood. Maybe not necessarily the exact wording, but yeah, it's maybe not obvious that she understood it, but it seems like she did.
Hmm.
And
I mean, I'm not sure what I'm taking away from that, but
yeah, right. And then she kind of like, her hands kind of drop by her sides instead of on her hips, and she goes, "Well, things to do, big day coming up."
you are talking, of course, of the wedding.
Wedding? She just turns to you.
The upcoming wedding of the Tonan.
No. Just smiles at you.
Excuse. I was under impression you were probably going to be
She
attending.
puts like her hand over your lips to stop you speaking. And then she says,
okay.
"It's okay. No offense was taken." Then she like turns and kind of like courtesies to the dwarf, and then courtesies to you. She says, "I hope you find other things to enjoy while in Evershade." And then just starts walking back into the dark corridor away.
Is
Give her
there
a polite
anything?
nod as she walks off.
Adair would quickly say, "Is
Yeah.
there anything you'd suggest?"
And she kind of like says over her shoulder, "I hear the theatre is on tonight."
I'm going.
And then she just kind of waves vaguely over her shoulder as if saying goodbye.
Hmm.
Well, that was interesting.
Turns back to painting.
Yeah. Adair just looks at the bed.
She's definitely not quite saying something.
She is very. She gives me headache,
I wouldn't
but
say that too
in
loud.
good way.
I'm not sure what that means, but thumbs up. as they say, good for you. Anyway, I don't think her painting's anything other than.
But is most strange. She turns up at exact moment of us looking at.
A little bit. I'm more worried about the fact that she didn't seem to know. So she's points to the painting sort of vaguely, not like specifically pointing at it, sort of gesturing towards it. Like she's obviously familiar with the nobility. She's noble herself. She's in town at the time of the wedding. Her son's attending. How can she know about it? That's very weird.
It is most strange.
Unless
Yes.
she really isn't quite here in the flesh.
She is looking very real to me, and she is. How can I say? She is touching very real to me.
I'd rather he didn't see it, but she didn't strike me as anything other than a flesh and blood person. He sort of puts his hands up in protest, you know, like I'm not saying she's a ghost or that. I'm just saying you don't always know when you encounter strange
It
things.
is.
But I didn't get the feeling that she was. Admittedly, I didn't try to find out. Maybe next time. But she could. It might be that her son considers her deceased because she's not quite
Gone?
a person anymore. Not dead, but not really of this world. She could be. I mean, wait, right, Ryan. She was described as being sort of fairly youthful, right?
I
Can I find a picture of her?
like we have the picture of her, right? But youthful in the sense that she was clearly old enough to have a kid. There's the art I've been using for her. But this was like art that we said like way back when for Adair and Fleabag's benefit. This was like I want to say like a picture they found of her like long ago.
Right. So she does look older than that.
Yeah, but like not much older than that in the sense that she just looks like she's matured from that.
Yeah, but she doesn't strike me from like the descriptions and from like because I'm sure it's in that picture before. She doesn't look old enough to have Von Rune as a son.
Definitely not.
To me. So there's definitely a suggestion, and I think Vanguard would pick up in that. I don't know if you maybe want to roll or what have you, but I think he would definitely pick up in the sense that she does seem a little too young to be, the mother of a man who could be middle-aged.
Yeah, like Von Rune seems like he's at least 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy. Like you could guess that. Give or take.
I think definitely he thinks she is a little suspiciously youthful. So yeah. I wonder. It could be that she doesn't know about the wedding because certain things aren't quite happening for her in the same way they are for us. In other words, she could be outside time as we experience it for any number of reasons. Beings from other dimensions sometimes don't experience time as we do. Yes, obviously the dead, higher powers, that sort of thing.
It is definitely most strange, especially as she is constantly turning up, especially with her teeth.
She turned up without them, I would think.
Well, did you not notice her teeth?
I assume I did notice.
Yeah, like they're very hard on touch because they're all jewels.
Put that together with the chaos stuff.
Did you roll on that before?
I think I might have done. But do you want me to roll it again?
Sure, why not?
What would that be? History?
Religion or Arcana?
Religion or Arcana? I can do religion or Arcana.
Yeah.
I assume still with disadvantage.
Yeah, if you've still got exhaustion.
Yeah. Oh no.
Some people have jeweled teeth.
It's a thing.
Yeah. You're maybe just. I think the way to interpret that would just be your head's too full of family trees at the moment.
Yes, the teeth were very, very jeweled. I'm sure I've seen that before. In some cultures.
You see, unfortunately, one of the times the Fleabait, he did try to. Well, he implied he was going to try and get her teeth one day, but then she made him some tea.
All right, I gotta head out.
I see.
No worries.
Good luck with the rest of the session, guys.
Godspeed.
Have a good one.
Godspeed, sir. Hopefully we won't kill you.
Well.
Well, we'll see now.
Mm.
But that, her teeth, and how you say, she is never around when the Richter is around, and Richter says she is dead, and it makes my head hurt.
It could be some sort of curse that she's not able to be in his presence.
Possibly, I've unfortunately not knowing in this. But shall we be making way to out of here before we are discovered?
I would. I mean, I came in the front door.
Da, I too come in front door, but you know, I do have date tonight with the lady of house.
And you want her to think that you weren't reading.
Well, I do not want to seem, how you say, stalkerish.
Oh, I see. You're just trying to avoid coming over too eager. Right. Don't want to make that
Nah,
schoolboy
nah.
mistake. And of course, keep your head down. Out we go.
Thank you. Yes, that.
And then you just want to try and head out.
Yeah, we'll try.
Okay.
I'll
Just
stay a
like-
few steps ahead of you. And if
Cool.
you see her bump into me or what have you, go down a different path.
Cool. Does that mean I can roll stealth with advantage?
I mean, not really, because he has disadvantage for most things he does, sadly. Yes. But you can roll normally if you want.
Ah,
I can potentially bump into her first. I'm not going to be trying to be particularly stealthy,
Mhm.
so I don't think I really want to roll. If I bump into her, I bump into her. I
Oh.
don't care.
whereas I do care, so I shall
Yeah.
attempt.
Yep, there we go. See? Look at that.
Okay. Right in the middle.
I
Yeah,
mean, it could be worse.
definitely. But yeah, so I think with the lovely bonus of his new coat that he wears over his other coat, and your head full of art, yeah, you
Yes,
shuffle.
I'm carrying a tube with documents inside.
Aha! That you're stealing from the library. Yep. Just like some
Am I
horrible,
filming
like,
aloud? Possible tune.
I was gonna say, it's like some not. It's like some really cheesy spy cartoon, isn't it? Like
Oh,
the beige duster
the
with
black
the
and
big
white
hat.
spy
Yeah.
guys.
So yeah, like you find your way out anyway. Vanger, you, unless you want to talk to the librarian for anything, you, I guess, make your way out as well with
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I guess you head back to the room to catch up with Fleabite. Unless you get somewhere else to be.
Nope, I'm happy to go back to the room because I'm expecting a suit.
Yeah. So yeah, you head back to the room. Fleabite, what have they missed since last we seen you?
They probably miss being able to smell.
Mm-hmm.
Would I dare walk into his room and be like, what the hell happened to my room?
Yeah, there's probably like a very, very strong odor in the room. I don't know what that odor is, but it's. In fact, do you know what it is? It's like somebody dropped a case of Lynx Africa, and it burst
God.
everywhere.
I was like, is this a smell I can associate just with Fleabite after knowing him for 2 years? But nope,
Like,
Lynx Africa.
Let me reveal something. I actually use Lynx Africa sometimes because I have a very poor sense of smell and I don't really give a shit about deodorant.
Hey, what male has not got somewhere within reach, probably, a can of Lynx Africa? Anyway,
Not anymore, but every Christmas you tend to get one.
they still circulate. No shame, just that is at least a
It's a thing,
pungent
it's a
enough
thing.
smell I can throw out there. For
I had one because I was going to Africa, and I thought it was funny.
Oh,
I don't think I still have it.
But there you have it.
I've
So,
never bought joke deodorant.
You're not on Alexander's level of ironic yet. That's why.
I'm more for the Alanis.
Yes. But yeah. So, any chat in the room? from the gang.
Flibbit, what have you been doing? What is smell in the room? This is not like you.
I mean, I think Levi would just reply, yes, much preparations must be made for infiltrate heist attempts.
You're doing okay. I'm not sure I'm wishing to know, but good to see you are being prepared.
Find out information for your secretive timeout tonight.
We are finding something out, and I'll take the scroll out from the tube and show him. Can you read this? I know you can read, but can you read this?
No. I mean, Flula can barely read common. Like,
I guess Adair roughly does a quick translation, like points out the major bits.
Mhm.
I mean, family tree is going to kind of go over Fleetwood's head anyway. Just that concept. So
The gist of it, this Stobard chap that we've encountered, that's apparently a servant. Well, Charleston's his name, right? The only Charleston that comes up in any of this damn documentation is, according to this one, the actual heir to the family, not the.
Not the Noah and the Glint. You remember the Glint?
yes, wild thing, man thing, wild eye thing.
Like Hugh Jackman? What?
Yeah, no.
Bursts through the window on a rope from nowhere.
Oh, it does raise some.
So
there is deception. Yes.
There is definitely something strange going on. The Stobard, the one we are even having a drinks with, he, it looks like, is actual, how you say, Tunan lording. The lording of the Tunan is dead.
I mean, Fleabite has had very little interaction with Stobard. That's been a you guys thing. So
Adair's just kind of.
Do you want to know about wolves that were in a cave? Because that's Fleabite's, like, he's got that sorted if you want to know about that.
Fleabite's just like, sure, these things happened. Sure, I don't really understand, but sure.
The most Fleabite had was when he was eating that fruit that wasn't fruit, getting led towards Lord Tonan, and then Tonan was like, nah, Stobard, take him to the kitchen. Yeah, it was.
You make preparations for your evening night?
Well, we are in fact inspecting fancy suits being made, handmade, especially for tonight's.
Fancy suits?
Well, I know my jacket is, how you say, oh my god, amazing. But this is going to be even more.
I think at that, Fleabite would think for a moment, read through inventory, and
build a better fancy jacket.
You need fancy eye catch set to improve night. Yes.
Adair takes a minute to think about what on earth he means. What do you have, Flibbit?
Eyes narrow and arm hold closer to things.
Adair's arms open, palms wide.
Arms. Okay.
Shaka, when the walls
Fleabite pulls out a leather belt set with obsidian.
Ooh.
Say, this help draw eyes. Yes.
This would definitely, how you say, draw the eyes of the peoples. Are you giving it to me?
Fleabite would hold it out to you.
Adair wouldn't go to take it, but you know that way you'd brush your fingers over the top of it to look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just to gauge a reaction from Fleabite, because, you know, I have known him for like 2+ years.
Mhm.
So it's one of those careful moments of, oh, this would definitely attract the eyes of the peoples of the theaters.
Out of character, how much was your thingy? How much did your jacket cost?
His jacket was
the one
like.
I'm wearing.
No, the one that you bought. Sorry.
Oh,
You mean his full outfit?
I mean, the full outfit's $250.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's 2 coppers and 50.
It's about a 250.
Yeah, 250.
Yeah, just because for reference, like the equivalent is this is worth 25 gold.
Which is still, by the way, like a lot of money.
For a belt, yeah, that's
Like, it's a lot of money. Now think about what a fine bottle of wine would cost you in this world, right?
True.
And that's 10 gold. So yeah. And wine's expensive.
not the wine I drink. That's a joke. I stopped drinking wine. When I did drink wine, though, oh boy.
Yeah. I'm glad some of those pictures don't exist of me anymore. Anyway, carry on. Your scene with your obsidian build.
So yeah, Adair's admiring it, but I am not in any way taking it from Fleabite.
If help draw attention and keep questions of whereabouts are we, then maybe it would help if you took it.
This is a good idea, Fleabite. Thank you.
When like you go to like take it back, Fleabite's not gonna let go just yet. Just like
Adair,
Fleabite.
Adair has it with one hand, kind of like, do not worry, I shall be returned to you, my comrade, my friend.
Blue in thing, oh Fleabite, and let go. And Fleabite lets go.
Do not worry, I will be giving back when you're wanting it back. Or needing it back, should say. And Adair's turned around, kind of holding it, and goes, I really hope it goes with suit.
Yeah. I think one.
I'm sure it'll be distinctive.
And if knock at the door?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adair moves to the side quickly, just in case it's Madame Emerald. We're wrist out, like, hello.
Am they going to answer the door?
who? Was it Adair's room? Sorry,
It's
was it-
Adair and Fleabite's room, apparently.
Yeah, well, shouldn't you open the door then?
Shit. Okay, Adair goes to open the door, but make sure that when he opens the door, the first person in sight is Wagner.
Banger. Anyway,
Banger,
no, you
sorry.
know what? I at this point, I don't know why we would try. Yeah, I will happily be there when you open the door if you prefer.
Sure. It's just for shits and giggles. But yeah, happily open the door.
And Falcon looks up and goes, "Why are you being weird?
What do you mean?
There's somebody downstairs for you."
Who is downstairs?
I don't know, some lady. She just like wipes her nose on her sleeve again.
Yeah, would you say pretty lady, lady with funny teeth? Would you say lady with sword wanting to hurt me?
Yeah.
Ah.
Is that
Adair,
even a sword?
you never know. But yeah, Adair kind of just turns around to Vanger and Fleabite just to be like, are you expecting any? I mean, I am expecting.
Well,
Okay, yeah.
It's for you. She said. Is it for him? Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for you.
She just like points at you, really obviously.
Okay, give me a little moment here. Lady downstairs. Okay, so Adair will take his jacket off and take his new pocket watch and put it in a drawer and making sure.
Have you closed the door or have you just left it open?
Well, with Falcon just at the doorway, he'll
Yeah.
keep it open just for a moment, just to like get rid of his new jacket, his normal jacket, get himself ready.
Moving the alchemical kit to the side so you can get some room to sit some stuff down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Fleabag would start putting all that stuff back into his pack.
Basically, tidy up a wee bit, but Adair would then follow Falcon downstairs just in his like waistcoat and stuff.
Before you leave the
casual.
room, she goes, "Why does it smell funny in here?"
This is just how the room smells. Do not all rooms smell this way?
No, this is weird.
Must just be our room. It's a special room, of course.
Okay. She just like turns and walks if you're following her.
I follow.
Yeah. She just like excitedly jumps down, steps because she's 10. So, yeah. And then she gets to the bottom by like leaping the last two. And you just hear a thud. And you just hear, "Flana!" Like as an angry shout from Madame Emerald. And then there is a very recognisable Michelle Gomez in the lobby as you're coming down the stairs. And she just pivots with a hand on her hip. And, various things stuck in her hair, various pins and other such things, holding it in place. And she pivots.
Hello, madame.
But doesn't someone take their time descending a staircase?
When making entrance, it's important to stand out. Haha.
Goes, "Well, look no further." And then she looks around, just as if, is this where we're doing the unveiling, I guess? And there's like a fairly large kind of, almost like as if somebody's carrying like a birdcage with a like long black kind of curtain over it. But it's like obviously staff from her shop that are holding this up. And then she like moves the curtain off the framework that's clearly covering this mannequin, and it is just a head to toe, very unique looking a suit with shoulder cape and buttons that go down one side, and like from the buttons there's like the ropes that feed back into the cape, and like down one side there's like various patterns that like weave into each other. And she presents it, and it's it's very unique, very very unique. And she gestures at it, and she goes, "Well," almost straddling this piece of clothing.
This is most impressive. Wow, is impressive so much. Would you mind if I am taking up the room to try on?
I would expect no less.
Of course. Think. Adair would gesture towards the person that brought it in to take it upstairs.
Yeah, and like she just like nods at both of the people that have are carrying it very ridiculously and ceremoniously, and says, "Well, follow the man." And then she like nods her head very almost commonly at them, briskly maybe is the best way to put it.
Madame, would you wish to join us, or would you prefer to wait down here in the bar area? The Lady Falcon, she can see to your needs.
And then she looks over at Falcon, the perfect height for the cape that you ordered. And she goes, "Ha!" And she rushes so they don't get up the stairs, and she like folds the back of the curtain away, and she lifts out the cape and hands that to you.
To me?
Yeah, because it's you paid for it. It's Falcon's cape.
It was Xarxes that ordered it.
Yep, but it's here.
I'm like, I didn't pay for this, but sure.
Yeah, but you're basically husbands with Xarxes as far as she's concerned, so...
Adair's just kind of like, what? She is so racist. All she sees is colors.
She leans in and she goes, "This was supposed to be delivered tomorrow, but I had some spare time this evening, and I didn't know if the young'un was accompanying you to the theatre or not. She kind of just looks at you and she goes, so I figured it was best to deliver this now. I can, however, hold on to it if you don't want to take receipt of it now, though.
No, please. He's looking lovely. Falcon, look. The lady is something for you.
Falcon just looks up. What is it?
Adair looks to the lady because she'll describe it better than Adair would. I assume.
I mean, she just kind of like pulls the velvet curtain off of it, and it reveals, you know, this obviously immaculate-looking velvet cloak. And she says,
Is she wearing the one that Fleabite gave her?
No. She's not been wearing that since she obviously dumped it in the kitchen somewhere.
It's now cleaning dishes.
And she doesn't seem to be wearing the dagger either, at least obviously, anyway either. So that's obviously found in your home somewhere. But she kind of just looks at it, she goes, what is it?
Is a fabulous new clock that it's clearly a fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Clock that the secretary is buying for you. This lady, she makes the finest of things. Sorry, the most fabulous of things.
And then Falcon goes, oh, so it's mine.
That is yours now. Xerxes, he get for you. Did you not ask him for this?
Yeah, I think so.
They're just kind of smiling, like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is normal. This is normal.
And then she kind of like walks up to it, like wipes her nose on her sleeve, and I think as she like has the on her sleeve, you've just got the same very exact shudder from what's her face? God, what is her name? Malay? No. Why have I just for Mayal? From Mayal. She just shudders at the same time as she wipes her nose on her sleeve, almost like it's caused her pain. And she goes, perhaps you should have fixed the cape when you were getting ready, and you can come down the stairs together and I will see you in your full glory, both of you.
That this is, unfortunately, I'm thinking that it's perhaps best that I am not getting dressed in front of child.
This is not your child?
Of course, she is, she's human, right?
Yeah.
But does she look like my child? They're standing there bright.
And she just looks between the two and goes, I mean, I don't judge.
Yeah, no, this is the Falcon. My friend, my comrade, the Xerxes is her, how you say, adopted father.
I see.
This is why he is buying her the lovely cloak. He is the one who is taking care of the lady. But and Adair moves in a wee bit closer to Mal to whisper, do you do the hankies, by chance?
And then she
handkerchiefs
leans in, kind of like almost like awkwardly past you, uncomfortably close, or perhaps comfortably close, and then she like leans past and like stretches an arm out to like the pocket of the suit and just pulls out the handkerchief.
I'm thinking this is good for the girl. Falcon, look! He has also got you this, a handkerchief. This way you are not using a sleeve no more. You have a proper tool for a job.
What's it do?
It is anytime you are feeling need to wipe nose on sleeve, you are using this instead of sleeve.
So I have to carry this?
I am believing, as he looks to Mal, most ladies are keeping a in sleeve to pull out when need be. So it's in plus, just don't use.
And I think she will. She'll lean into one of her sleeves and pull out her own like handkerchief. And you kind of wave it vaguely to gesture that this is indeed true. And then she'll like tuck it away again. And then she goes, "Oh." And she like lifts up her sleeves, and obviously they're quite loose and open-ended, and she's like, "I think it would just fall out."
I'm sure it will. You will grow into it. As is sort of Adair moved towards the stairs. Like, I give up.
And she goes, "Oh, okay." So she's like holding this like beautiful green cloak and this like very mismatched hanky. She goes, "Oh, well, thank you, Mrs." And then she just like goes back to the kitchen. Yeah. So you head back upstairs?
Yes, I shall follow the people carrying the thing and direct them towards my room.
I was going to say, they'll happily follow you up, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, Fleabite and Vanger, he returns to the room with an entourage, it seems.
What's all this?
This is my new suit for tonight. Look at its splendor.
As it soaks up the Lynx Africa.
Hello.
And then the attendants like politely acknowledge people in the room, but don't necessarily speak. And yeah, they set the mannequin up. And
I'll head to my room and give you a moment to change then.
Thank you. Flibbit, what are you doing now?
Just generally, yeah.
Just like still packing away the poisonous kit and all my chemical agents.
Trying not to look guilty as fuck.
I think most of that can have been packed away, given how long they were on the staircase. Yeah. You can have most of that packed away by now. Maybe you're just wrapping up as they enter. But yeah, I think we can have you getting all suited and booted, I guess, at the end of the session, and have you walk down the stairs majestically in your fabulous outfit that you're welcome to describe, since that is all your own head fiction that you can share with us.
I'll come up with something.
Indeed, I expect detailed sketches.
Fancy duds, fancy shirt. I would love to say like Austin Powers crevasse shirt.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah. Right?
The bow tie. I really hope it came with a cane, because I feel like a proper gentleman's outfit has a cane.
I mean, sure, why not? That was probably part of some noble house that needed some kind of cane affectation, and she's probably added bits of that in.
The cane Jeeves, yeah.
No, our top hats in fashion.
Sure, why not? And they are now, because this was a unique design you wanted. So clearly, she's deciding they're going to be in fashion.
Yeah, Adair's loving it. The crevasse shirt, the waistcoat, the pocket watches that she doesn't recognise.
They're in a drawer, yeah.
Yeah.
I assume you didn't put that onto the outfit to walk down the stairs for her.
No. I mean, that'd be hilarious, but no.
But yeah, like as I said, if you find any particular art that you want to share with us for next time, that'd be quite good. But I think that's the image is just her watching you walk down the stairs in your very unique piece of expensive fashion, and yeah, like it's definitely gonna turn the right heads. That's for sure.
Nice. Does Fleabite's belt go with it?
I mean, of course it does. Why wouldn't it?
Of course it does. Nice.
What does like onyx pressed leather belts like just go with everything? But yeah, it'd be a choice to obviously swap out the belt it came with, though, I guess. But that's you're definitely going to do well by that. You could probably assume that the belt either costs the same or more than the one the Fleabite gave you, given that the whole outfit was 250. Right, if you started divvying it up for all the parts that we're adding to it, apparently.
Do the two belt look, right?
Yeah, you could do that too, yeah.
I was thinking like a sash, like one belt's actually more like a sash.
Sure, I mean, Arguably.
I mean, your actual art is wearing like 3 belts.
Mhm,
That's a good point.
mhm.
That's copyright infringement.
Yeah.
it's almost.
So, like, yeah, you could have that, but we'll let you come up with that over the week, and you can inform us how good it looks as you walk down. But she just looks pleased that you're wearing it, and it doesn't, it looks as good as she thought it would. Now that it's being worn by the intended, and it also fits very well, which is the strange thing considering she never took a single measurement.
She's just good with her eyes.
It's almost like it was her one skill. She doesn't need to roll on. I think it's just her looking pleased, and I think the last shot of the session is just Madame Emerald just dropping some form of a platter with things on it, like some kind of decanter or something. It just kind of smashes as she looks up at the stairs as you're walking down. And
Would
that's
it break character for Adair to go, oi oi?
Yeah.
You mean woof?
oh, it's so good to be Lockhart sometimes.
Yeah, and I think God, why can't Mayal? Sorry, I keep wanting to call her like something completely different, but yeah, Mayal. Just like flicks her wrist, and she's got a fan in her hand, and it's opened, and she just starts fanning herself. So she looks windswept. And that's where we end. We'll end on that note. That's a good place to end, I think, is you finally getting your ridiculously expensive outfit.
Oh yeah.
Mechanically speaking, if you're dealing with nobility in Evershade, you get advantage. Socially.
Oh,
There you go, buddy.
that's quite good to know, actually.
It's really good considering this is a city full of
Yes.
fucking Evershade nobility. Yeah.
I'm gonna so swan about like a posh boy.
In your posh outfit.
Oh yeah.
But yes. Beyond that though, what are we going to name the session?
Ooh. Right. So my notes so far.
Mhm.
Not Mickey. I've got Wart, as in WART, and then Basic Shade is the last one.
I have one. It's a bit long.
Okay.
But it's yeah, you'll see. Oh no, actually, I can condense that if I just use a cliche.
Okay.
And everyone loves cliches.
That's true. I mean, yeah, like these are some good ones. I do love just Ghosts Escape the Buddhist. It's just so dumb.
I think that's the click. Is it what do you call it? Clickbait.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Definitely.
totally going for that.
Wait, I want money. Even just the big picture is also quite good, right? As opposed to seeing the big picture, just the big picture.
Fucking self-voting and can't stop.
Yeah. Any other votes to come? Gonna vote for yourself, Leebit. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't help in any way.
What one did you prefer though, outfitting or outfitted?
Outfitting.
That was a great answer, thank you. Well, here we are.
We're at a halfway point
An
of
impasse.
outfitted, Ghosts Escape the Book, or Seeing the Big Picture.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Seeing the Big Picture then.
And that's the winner.
I guess I'll just vote. Just because if we have to ever remember what episode this was, it's the one where he's looked at a big picture.
That's true.
I was actually really pleased with that title because not only is it a stock phrase that people recognise and is therefore memorable, but it sort of combines the whole library scene together. Admittedly, it doesn't touch so much on other people's scenes, but
I mean, I don't know how to get it into words, but I think I've got next week's title of Sexy Bitch. Because of what I'm going to be doing.
I don't know if you can do that with the VOD. Maybe you can do it on YouTube, though. That might be don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
We've still got like 2 hours before like we get to any theatre stuff, so that could be another session that we can squeeze in.
That's okay. Adair's just going to
Ideally.
stand around like a sexy bitch.
Yep.
For 2 hours.
Just 2 hours of prancing around. Yep. Right. So goals. Talk me through them, guys.
I
Always believe in you, so
don't.
Any generals
don't-
happen?
Nothing came up in general, and I don't think anyone's private ones came up either.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, well, sorry, Wagner. Sorry, I do apologize.
yeah.
mean-
And Poison. Yep.
Yep.
I started from the bottom up. I do
Yep.
apologize.
Okay. Right. So, what was the tone and mystery?
Tone and mystery is at least somewhat resolved. So clearly there is some sort of false identity going on, or possibly some sort of fuckery with the family line. Either way, it would appear that the head of the Tunan family is not the real heir.
So it seems.
We need a DNA test.
Also, goodbye,
Oh,
Callum.
is Callum gone? Good night, you filthy hoe.
Wow.
I love you. There. That balances out, right?
Sure. Callum, you're loved and apparently a hoe. I'm sorry. But you're welcome. Anyway, so as for this, yeah, you definitely uncovered a Tanan mystery, that's for sure. And
Nice.
we
As I
definitely
had perceived.
there was definitely a potion made for the heist. So yeah, it's 2 goals. Look at that. Move them across to the goal list.
Dead.
Yeah. And then I have to remember how to do goal maths. So that's what.
Do I insert mine under the? No, there's no. What's the ordering? Can't recall.
So if you're gonna like see where mine is highlighted, it's just a blank space there. So
Just there.
yeah.
Okay.
It's just to follow that.
Because I
Like
know
these
it's
blank
got a couple-
spaces, like this, I don't actually understand why it
It's
exists.
a Taylor Swift reference. Yeah, I get it. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just I'm gonna do this. There we go. And this is just because this is very long. I feel like can that be shortened in some way? Not in any way I can think of to do quickly. So that's fine. Yeah. You moving that across there, Fleabite? Because it's still in its. There we go. There we go. Now, if there's nothing else completed, these are what, level 6? So that is 1200, right? He's just gained.
1200. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is some number more than what you have. Let's see what we've actually got. You should have your XP on your sheet at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
15675.
Mhm.
It was 1200 more.
Yeah. It should be 16875.
Yep.
Unless I've done maths bad, but yeah. There we go.
One. That's it.
When's the next level? Do we know when that is? Should be.
It's a wee while away because we leveled up quite recently.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 14 was level 6, and it's 23 is level 7. Ooh. Okay though, we're getting there. We're getting there. There we go. Goals though, we do have a whole bunch of goals left. So, any general goals getting shelved and reinserted? Or are they staying
I
as
think
is
the
for now?
box in the cave might be dead.
I just really don't think we can afford to ignore it because I think that probably is the fucking box. So I think we need to do that after the heist. I think we need to the next day go the fuck out there because we still have just enough time, right?
If you left like that
Yeah.
night, probably, yeah.
So after the heist, go straight out.
I mean, arguably, if you asked a friend for help, maybe be able to do it quicker.
Well, yeah, we could do that.
That's true.
If
So
only we knew some sort of intelligence company.
If only we knew some sort of wolf people. If only we knew some sort of ship, man.
yeah, our teleporting.
If only
Wizard.
we had Skyrite.
Yeah, if only we had Skyrim. Accio bucks. So yeah. Anyway, besides that, so it sounds like the general goals are in flux. Let's look at personal goals first, then, while the general goals get mulled over. Adair, personal goal. You've had 2 weeks now.
I know, that's the problem, and I still can't think of a good one. I do want to do something about the theatre,
Mhm.
but I'm just not sure what. Like,
And just
I
get
feel
any
like I-
ideas from?
Well, you wanted to try and needle her for information a bit.
What, spike her drink?
No,
Mm,
no.
no.
I didn't. When I said needle, I wasn't. So, is there anything sort of obviously if you're going to sort of opera or play or whatever it was, a performance nonetheless. This is probably not the ideal time to actually do that.
No, but there is an intermission where lots of people chat and
Yeah.
whatnot. So that at least gives me possibly up to 20 minutes of a window to, you know.
Is there any specific thing, really sort of narrow thing that you think you could sort of work into conversation easily enough to get in that short time frame?
I feel like I could possibly find out about why she is in charge of the library because, you know, she's a noble. Why is she being
There
a
you go.
librarian?
I think that would be interesting as well.
So discover why Lady Thicke is a librarian?
Yeah, like
Or-
we know why they have that building, but why is it a
Mhm.
library? Why she's running it? Like that's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Um,
why library? Why librarian? Question mark. Thacky.
Whence cometh library?
Okay, so we'll let you word that just now then, Gregor. Your personal goals. Fleabite.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that will happen in the likely.
Prepare further for heist in the next session. Is what you mean? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to remember all the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah, usually during the heist. Yes.
I did just think, Adair, you really should have read like a book on how to do opera at the library.
I mean, well, to know you sit in a seat with little silly glasses, and yeah, that's all you need to know.
Can you actually do that?
We will find out.
Casts levitate on self. Like billows majestically. Yep. But yeah, Fleabite. What's the thoughts? What's the next plan? You got your poisons and your potion, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what, because Fleabite's main job is like sort of Overwatch in the vague plan that we had.
Yeah.
Just trying to think, how do I goalify that?
Don't know. Like, there's only so many ways I can think to try and rephrase "don't fuck up job on heist."
Yeah, we've already got a few. We've got the main actual heist pretty well goalified.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what you would do. Maybe you need to do something a bit more personal then for that. What about you, Vanger? Anything?
I think we're gonna have to have a think about this. And I know when I say that, I quite often fail to do so successfully, or at all. But I'm not coming up with anything at the moment, unless anyone has any particular Vanger flavored suggestions that we. Because I don't.
Fight Lord Tanan while you're a spider.
That seems bad.
Can you hear Utur just now? The spider curse! He was a noble man. Then he was a noble Spider-Man.
His name's something Parker, you know?
Oh, yeah. Noah Parker. It's a jacket. Anyway, that's a terrible joke. Nothing, Finger, no.
I really don't know.
I know, I'm trying to think if I've got anything for you as well, because obviously you get the family tree stuff to peruse, I guess, in future times if that's something you want to follow up on. I guess it's... Could pursue, I guess, actively pursue other lead, you know? Could be one, because it involves getting another lead and then pursuing it to some end. So that's at least a filler one, right?
But then when am I pursuing this lead? You know, because I don't know.
It's up to you. I mean, there's a whole list of things in here as well, right? I don't know how much of them are relevant, but yeah. Establish an alibi. Is that your plan, Fleetway?
That is actually.
I know it's a bit almost too clever for Fleabag.
I feel like
something that we really should do, but I'm not sure
I think that's just is it not ALIBI?
It also should really be a general goal, right? It should just really be a general goal.
It probably should be. Not for some of us, actually. To be fair, no. He said Adair can probably avoid that one.
But yeah, it's definitely a goal. Anything else, guys, for goals for the moment then? Because I know we've got discover why Lady Taki is the librarian and why the library is the former Optera home. Well, you know that part. You know the last part.
Yeah, they took it. I mean,
it's more like, I think it's the inverse of that, is why the former Optera home is now a library. Is like really the question you're actually asking. Because you know why the library is there. It's because they were given it. But why is it a library of all things it could be? I guess.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah. So it's like, why is the former Optera home now a library? Is really the question. If that makes sense. Beyond that, though,
should we swap out the find out what the package was for establish an alibi?
Probably. Like you may as well just dump it in the other line, because let's face it, if you can't establish an alibi by the end of the next session, I don't know how you're going to do it, so I'm sure that can go back in by then, you know? So that's reasonable. And I don't know, I guess successfully infiltrate and scout out the estate. Is that not your job? Because you know there's going to be skill checks involved in that, so that does have, you know, fail conditions, right? And arguably, Fleabag had something of a similar nature. It just can't be an autocomplete, obviously. And we've got established an alibi in there as well. Yep, good. Anything, Fleabag?
I'm just trying to think, like, provide useful Overwatch. But I don't even know how I would do that.
I think it would be more a case of if things go wrong, provide useful assistance, right? Be useful backup, I guess. Like, because it really does, like, if you're there for if things go wrong, it's doing that bit well, right? It's actually being effective. So I feel like, you know, it's really like writing if the shit hits the fan, you know. Yeah, basically that. But with more of the words I used. But yeah, that makes sense. And obviously let's hope by next week or whenever we next play that, Cat Scout makes sense to us as well. But that's good enough. Goals going once, twice, and thrice. I'm glad we're dealt with goals. These have added your XP onto your sheets, I'm sure, as well.
We have indeed.
Those are all done. And then we will do our wrap-up chats, which will start with Adair.
So yeah, Adair has an awesome new suit, which he's well chuffed with. He's acquired a lovely watch, a new jacket. Yeah, Adair's definitely had a decent wee afternoon. I'm glad we're definitely getting somewhere, I guess is the right way to say it. Like it feels like we're building up something quite big. But then I suspect it'll be like a 5-minute viewing at the opera and then something else will happen.
This is what Evershed operas are like 6 days long. Yeah.
Oh god, I didn't even think about that. Okay, that could be interesting. So I guess I should take my rations with me.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, I'm going to assume a fancy suit that I've had made especially for the opera would contain hidden compartments for snacks and stuff.
Pockets, yeah.
Got one. The top hat has like a straw attachment for
Yeah.
Yes, it's actually got a small barrel of beer in it.
Tiny keg, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we might have just invented something, but
Yeah.
the D&D equivalent of a beer cap.
Yeah, it's the bluff hat, right? Definitely not a infringement at all. The bluff hat, yes. Yes, oh dear.
But yeah, no, great wee evening. Yeah, happy to be back. And yeah,
Same.
I say back, it feels like we've been off for like a month, but
It happens when you take a break like this. It does get.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, how much time has passed? Oh,
Everything feels both eternal and far too quick. Like everything drags on, and yet also you turn around and you've lost 2 weeks.
yeah.
agreed. Very much so. This is
Fuck it.
the dystopian 2021 we live in.
And
Anything
I
else, buddy?
guess I think it's bad.
No, good game as always, did.
Yeah, indeed. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for playing, and sleep out.
Yeah, it was good to have some more interaction with Xarxus. And like, I think you guys have been a bit spoiled with how much sense Fleabite makes. And so I think maybe he's going to make less sense.
Fair.
But what was he? And what was his name? Mickey.
Mickey, yeah, Mickey the Fence. The most Bill name I could think of. Yes.
But that all worked out very well. Did Xarxus pick up the opal? I
Yeah.
kind of. That's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he pocketed that because he's the one that found the stash and found the opal in the stash. I had to specify that because like when I was replaying it, I'm like, why haven't they asked why he was full of stuff when he was stabbed? Like, wouldn't people have went through his pockets? Why did nobody ask this? Like, that's weird, right? It's like, it's because I didn't describe that well enough. Damn me and my brain. That's what tired Ryan happens. But no, he's got that. He's got the white opal.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where that goes. That sounds fun.
Strange rocks? Never.
I mean, and then yeah, always fun. Just the library trips, and covering very interesting things. But that was well done by the Abyssal speakers, apparently.
Primordial, yeah.
Primordial. That's
Yep.
This one might be a little more concerning.
Yeah. Everybody starts speaking the deep dark speech. Yep. Terrible.
And yeah, just I think went fairly well actually. Like all things considered, with potions, there was no like massive explosion. There was no.
Not yet. No.
Those dead bodies lying around.
Well, poor Mickey. Yeah. That was good. I think it went reasonably well considering how many skill checks were in this particular session, which were a lot. That was us for like the year, to be honest.
Yeah, but just considering we're still knackered.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah. I wonder, do you even lose that disadvantage on the next rest, or is that
No.
so? It's still several days of rest required, sadly.
I did even look at, like, is there any spells that can get rid of it? And they're all, there's like one, and it's really high level. It's like an 8th level spell or something.
Oofed. That is expensive, but I mean,
Yeah.
there might be somebody in town that could cast that, right? Like, keep in mind, people will cast spells for money, or for something interesting, right? If not even money. Because arguably, if you can cast 8th level magic, you probably don't need money, right? If you're able to cast 8th level magic. So, if you've been smart with it, I guess, is the best way to caveat that.
Mm-hmm. And
Mhm.
that's beyond very sleepy free mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just having the interactions with Falcon. And I was so happy when it was just like, I need my cloak. Zarx is just leaves and just, I've got some things.
It was good. It was really good. What a good scene. It was just fuck, just
Yeah.
right back out the door, and then she's just like fuck, and then you're just like this. That was good. It's nice to see another nice moment between Fleabite and Falcon, because again I like that almost kindred spirit vibe you have on the go. It's good. It is good.
And just like turn up, teach her how to like garrote someone and then leave. Let people that actually have to raise or deal with the consequences.
And she takes a piece of the dress you gave her and just wears it like a kind of an eye mask over her head with a bit of it trailing behind her, and she just learns all she can from her sensei rat. Yes. Called Skelf.
I'm like, can we get Fleabite to intentionally get a splinter so as we
That's why I said Skelf, right? That could be the nickname.
Skelf?
Yep.
We Skelf there, Fleabite.
See, sorted. Anything else, buddy?
Always good.
It was indeed. It was nice to be back. And Vanger, not Wagner.
Yeah, I made a couple of comments this time because I'm terrified that that's going to spread. Yes. I will reiterate. Yeah, it was Night Kings. Something to sink our teeth into in regards to the whatchamacallums, the Tanan family and their secrets. An interesting little appearance from Cynthia Kundren, and yeah, we had some interesting moments for the team of Zarxus and Fleabite. Yeah, nice fun little one all round, and I think we've sort of run out of time to fuck about, and we're kind of
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
on the main mission now.
I was literally going to say that.
I should probably write that down. 3 hours to go. Yeah, underline twice. There we go.
That was good. We used today more productively than I had feared.
Yeah.
I kind of thought we might blaze through it and just like do a couple of silly things in town and that'd be the session, but we have been somewhat productive. Like, that research is valuable, and it's something that we could do without having to put ourselves in a position like couldn't retrieve the box today because that would mean not being there for tonight.
Yeah, it's like, do we go get the box and just sell out Canty, right? Like, do we just leave him be high and dry? Because he just still went in, right? He just still went into the estate, and you can imagine how well that would have went. So no, it was interesting. But then it would have been interesting if he's had chosen to do that, right? Because I mean, you could just be like, let's just let him get caught and we'll go deal with that later. You know, that could have been a thing. You just could easily have tipped off the Tunans as well. And like, by the way, this guy's gonna like break in, but we're gonna go pick up your box. Is there any chance you could do as a solid and just
I don't
like?
think it would be. I think our team might not be the most ethical group in the world, but I think we're generally inclined towards trying to do the right thing. And I don't see us making the decision to screw him over because even if he's wrong, he's definitely his heart's in the right place, right?
Mhm.
And the Tanans are definitely weird and suspicious and assholes.
Yeah.
Weird, suspicious assholes. Yeah. You tend to be a little less sympathetic towards them.
I guess other than King
Whereas-
Tut's. Mhm.
Yeah, the weird, suspicious assholes. I think we were supporting. I can't remember.
That's fine. They'll make the joke at home themselves. Don't worry.
I've not, I haven't been to King Tut's nearly as much as you would think for the amount of gigs I've been to in Glasgow.
Stay on target.
I think I've been there like 3 or 4 times.
on
Yeah, Target. I can stay in Target. 2 of them were lights.
Mhm.
So, big lights fan me. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So we've kind of used our time quite productively, and that's always encouraging. Obviously we were a little bit short of Xarxus at the end there,
Mhm.
so maybe he could have been able to fit a little bit more in, but he got to have some interaction
Yeah.
with Meow, with
Mhm.
Lady Meal,
Mhm.
and yeah, like doing generally some fun stuff with NPCs all round. I think we all got our own little interactions today. Yeah, good fun.
It was good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was nice to
I
be
did
back.
enjoy. By the way, I should try and always sort of single out something like to just sort of draw out specifically. So I should say like your attempt to this session to sort of deliberately make Fleabite a little more difficult. Yeah, when he woke up and was just talking gibberish, that was great. Like, yeah, he can be a little difficult to understand, but usually he's not too bad. But every now and then, just to have him be, because he is literally alien to this world,
Hmm.
and he's a deeply strange creature. So yeah, he shouldn't always be making perfect sense to us. So yeah,
Especially when
so
he's
that-
huffed ether.
shit.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, it wasn't just woken up. He had passed out because of.
Mhm.
He when he is, as they say, off his tits.
He went down in a haze of glory.
Oh,
Yes. Anything else, buddy?
I think that's that.
That was good. It was good. Thank you all for playing. Yes, indeed. And we will see people the next time we run. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Arrivederci.